For those who don't recognize me, my name is Mackenzie Kane, and I'm actually a junior here at Dakota. Before I begin today, I just wanted to say thank you to Dennis for not only his inspiring performance, but as well as giving me this opportunity to speak today. So, on July 6, 2018, my dad, Todd Kane, committed suicide. I was 13 at the time, just getting ready to start 8th grade, and my sister Delaney was 10. You know, I can never recall a moment where I genuinely saw my dad happy. For as long as I can remember, he struggled with depression, and that took a toll. On not only himself, but his family life as well. You know, he never smiled, he never laughed. Instead, he was consumed by this dark cloud that never seemed to dissipate. And you know, I didn't get along with my dad that well. By the time I was 10, I was able to see right through him. I had him figured out. This mask that he tried putting on, he tried so hard to put on, it's almost as if it was made of glass. And we resented each other because of that. It scared him, and I give my dad credit. His mask that he put on was very believable to the oblivious. Now, if you believe the mask that my dad put on, you would have thought that he had it all. He had an amazing career. He was an award-winning teacher, varsity head football coach. He had 2 beautiful daughters, that's my sister and me up there, and the cutest house right off of Lake St. Clair. But the problem is, those who believed this mask deep down didn't know that he was struggling. And you know, when he passed, and news started getting around as to how, people started talking. People talked a lot. You know, a lot were ashamed as to how he died. And I will never forget the moment where I was at his funeral, and I overheard someone call him selfish for the way that he had left. And about a year, or the following months, in the fall, I had participated in an AFSP walk, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I was standing at the opening ceremony, and this lady was up there speaking. She was giving her speech right before we were getting ready to walk. And one of the things that she had said that has forever stuck with me, and I quote, "How can someone in so much pain and so much suffering, driven to the point where they want to kill themselves, how can that be considered selfish?" Think about that for a second. You know, my father truly believed that he would be helping us by ridding himself of our world. And if anything, in some twisted way, he thought that would be better for us. You know, there's moments where I think back to the year that I had left with him, and I didn't know it at the time, but it was our chance to salvage whatever relationship that we had. And in that year, he was the dad that I always wanted him to be. And I think he knew deep down that he owed it to us, that he knew he didn't have a whole lot of time left. And in that year, we laughed, we smiled. This was this new person that I had never seen before, ever. We made so many memories that I am forever grateful for. You know, in the home that he grew up in an environment where mental health was never addressed. You know, he was never taught to talk about his feelings. He was never, if you were sad, okay, whatever, don't talk about it, you just have to deal with it. That's how it always was. And later in life, that turned into depression, and he never knew how to deal with it. 43 years, my dad struggled with depression. And like I said earlier, it took a toll on not only himself, but his family, and every single aspect in his entire life. And you know, because of that, my father never worked up the courage to ask for help. And if there's one thing that I wish for any of you to take out of this today, is how important it is to address how you're feeling. And if there's a case where you are struggling, ask for help. Either if it's from a parent, a teacher, a friend, sibling, whatever. All it takes is 3 simple words. I need help. Take that first step that my dad couldn't. I can't express this enough. Your feelings are so valid, no matter what. And I ask you, if you are struggling, I ask you, I beg you to stay, because you deserve it. You are so worth it. On that note, I'm not ashamed as to how my father died. I know a lot of people were, and they didn't want to talk about it, which I think is stupid. But this, me up here speaking, this is how I keep his memory alive. This is how I cope. And this is my purpose in life, is to be up here advocating, sharing his story, and hopefully inspiring you to do the same. You deserve to have your voice heard. As for my dad, I forgive him. I forgive him for, not being the best dad in the world. And it wasn't his fault. I blame his sickness for a lot of that. And I do wish that I had the opportunity to see him healthy. I do wish that I felt some sort of relief from this cloud. The sea of sadness is what we're going to call it. But at this point, all I can do is hope that wherever he is, he's looking down at me saying, I'm so proud of you, Kenzie. So, thank you.